Okay, this is the sending unit to the diesel Volvo 1982 245, and if you look here you can see the crack, and actually as I removed the hose, this was a weak point and it bent and it cracked, and I suspect it was leaking beforehand just a little bit, enough to cause trouble with the engine. That's what I'm hoping anyway, and I'm also hoping that I'm going to be able to pull off brazing over this crack here and making it airtight, and hopefully that'll fix the problem with the Volvo, and that it doesn't really run well off the tank. The tank had some nasty stuff in it as well. I cleaned that out as best I could. I found diesel fuel is actually food for microorganisms, and if it sits a long enough time, these microorganisms somehow can live in the fuel tank or come in with water, and it creates this sort of gooey seaweed kind of thing, and it'll clog up the filter. So that might have been part of the problem, but I am suspecting that this crack was the bigger problem. Why the car would start, and then after a while it would just not run very well. Actually, I think it's a mix of the bad fuel and this crack, but I've got to fix the crack now, so let's see how it goes. So the thing about brazing, it's all in the prep. I used this knife to kind of clean it up, and then I used some sandpaper. I blew it, the dust out of there. Now I'm going to paint the flux onto the area. A bit liberally, because I don't mind if it gets onto the base here. Maybe I can build up some of the brazing, bronze brazing rod, and make it a little better. Okay, MagneGas2, oxygen. I'm going for a small flame. I did a test piece, and you have to be very careful with this thin metal. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull this off even. Whoop, I'm going to take a break here. Okay, so I started to melt this piece right here, which is the electrical part of the sender, so, you know, which goes to the fuel gauge. I wanted to kind of solder more, but it looks like I blow through this and it seems pretty airtight. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's delicate enough as it is. It's not that hard to remove if I have to